Hello, Mrs. Drossett here. So hopefully you have already downloaded this Triangle Trig Applications notes paper. You know, you can always learn it just by watching, but if you have it printed out, it's a little bit easier. So today we're going to do a recap of our sine, cosine, tangent, cosecant, secant, and tangent. This should be cotangent. Our cotangent ratios. So remember that for sine is always going to be O over H. Here's the way we remember this. SOHCAHTOA. Gotta know how to spell it right. It's OH and then AH and then OA. And this stands for sine, cosine, tangent. All right, so if we are going to talk about the sine ratio, that is going to be opposite over hypotenuse. So this is O over H. Cosine is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent is going to be opposite over adjacent. And then cosecant is just the reciprocal of O over H, so H over O. And secant is the reciprocal of cosine, so it's H over A. And tangent is the reciprocal of, cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent, which is A over O. So we're going to be looking at this kind of triangle. So if right here is our theta, this is our right angle, the one that is opposite of the right angle, that's always going to be the hypotenuse. You want to find that first. Then for this theta, opposite it is going to be right across from it. You can follow it out. It's right across from it. And the adjacent is going to be right next to it, right next to our angle. Okay, and so we are going to use some of these. So for this problem here, we have sine theta. Here's our theta. It's going to be opposite over hypotenuse. But we would have to know what the hypotenuse is first, so I would have to use the Pythagorean Theorem. So to use the Pythagorean Theorem, I would have to do 2 squared, which is 4, plus 8 squared, which is 64, equals c squared. I'm using a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So 4 plus 64 is 68 equals c squared. Take that square root. So c is going to be the square root of 68. Now, I should see if that can be broken down more. So I'm going to grab a calculator and see if that can be divided by 4 or 9 or 16, any of those numbers. So 68 divided by 4. You can use any calculator for this. Okay, so I know 68 then is 4 times 17. And anytime I have a perfect square root, I can take it out. So the square root of 4 is 2 radical 17. And so that's going to be our hypotenuse here, 2 radical 17. So now if I want to find the sine of theta, I can do opposite over hypotenuse. Then I have to rationalize it, so I'm going to do radical 17 and radical 17. That's 8 radical 17 over, and then 17 times 17, anytime I have those matching radicals, those are going to cancel out and just become 17. So 2 times 17 is 34. And then 8 and 34 can both be divided by 2. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Divide, only the numbers get divided by 2. So divide that by 2, I get 4. Radical 17, divide that by 2, and I get 17. So all I did was I divided those two by 2. Okay, if I wanted to find the cosecant, that's going to be the reciprocal of this. Now I could flip this one, but I would have a radical on the bottom, so I would rather flip the beginning one. So this is my denominator, so that's going to go on top, and then this is going to go on the bottom. And so now I have to simplify it. These are both numbers that can be divided by 2, so divide that by 2, and I'm just left with radical 17, divide that by 2. Because we only divide the number parts, the parts that are alike, not the radical part. For cosine of theta, that's going to be adjacent over hypotenuse, so that's going to be 2 over 2 radical 17. Now I could notice that these can be canceled. I can do this right now. 2 divided by 2 is just 1, so I put a 1 on the top. And then I can do radical 17 here, radical 17 here, and I'm going to get radical 17 over 17. Then I want to do the secant. Well, I know the secant is going to be the hypotenuse over the adjacent. So here's my hypotenuse, and here's my adjacent. See how I could have just flipped this over, 2 radical 17 over 2. And then these just simplify, and I get radical 17. And then tangent of theta, that's going to be our opposite over adjacent, so 8 divided by 2, and that's going to be 4. And our cotangent then is going to be the reciprocal of 4, or adjacent over opposite. So 2 over 8 is going to give us 1/4. All right, so now we're going to look at how we can use trig to find the missing side lengths in a triangle. So we have our angle, we have our right angle. So across from this is going to be our hypotenuse. This is going to be our opposite. This would be our adjacent. So the two sides that we're using here, we don't know this side, and we can't find it because we don't know these two sides. So we're not even going to work with this side. So if I'm using opposite and hypotenuse, I look back at this SOHCAHTOA and look through there and look at which one uses O and H. See how it's sine? So here's the way I set it up. It's going to have to go the sine of our angle, which is 53, equals the opposite, which is x, over the hypotenuse, which is that 15? Yeah, 15. Okay, so that's the way we set it up. We do sine of theta. Our angle is theta, which is 53. What's our opposite? X. What's our hypotenuse? 15. Now to solve this for x, I need to undo divided by 15. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 15. And so now I get rid of the 15 on the bottom, and I'm going to get x equals 15 times the sine of 53. So I can do that on my calculator. If you have a calculator like this, the first thing you want to do is go under the mode, which is here, and you want to check and make sure that degrees is highlighted. And our degrees is highlighted, so we're good. So to find x, we're going to do 15 times the sine of 53. And we get 11.98. Doesn't say what to round to. We'll just go to the hundredths. So x then is going to be 11.98. Now, let's say you don't have a calculator like that. Well, you can also go to your home page here, and I'm going to pretend like I'm not here yet, and I can just go to desmos.com, and you can even just put in desmos.com. You don't even have to put in calculator. And then you're just going to go to graphing calculator. And the first thing you have to do here, see this little wrench, that wrench right there? You have to go to that, and you have to make sure, again, degrees needs to be highlighted. So I'm going to go to degrees there. Make sure that's highlighted. And now we can just use this to calculate. So going back to our problem here was 15 times the sine of 53. So using Desmos, I'm going to do 15, and then I can go down here, this little keypad thing. This is going to show me times. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to do the sine of 53. And see how I get that same answer there? That 11.98, that's the same answer I got using my calculator. Okay? All right, let's go to the next one. All right, here's our picture. Here's our angle theta. That's going to be the hypotenuse, but we don't have anything there, so I'm not going to put anything there. So for this angle, this would be the adjacent, and this would be the opposite. Okay, see how this is opposite it? This is the adjacent. So we have to look and see which of our trig functions uses O and A. O and A is tangent. So we're going to have to do tangent of 67 equals opposite, which is x, over adjacent, which is 14. Now, how would I solve for x? How do I undo divided by 14? What would we do? Well, to undo divided by 14, I would have to multiply by 14. So I multiply both sides by 14. These are going to cancel, and so I'm just going to be left with x equals 14 times the tangent of 67. Now, you have to make sure that that number goes in front. You don't want to do 67 times the 14. The 14 wants to be in front. So if I want to do it on my calculator, I do 14 times the tangent of 67. And I get this answer. Okay, and if let's say our directions say to round to the nearest whole number. Well, if we rounded to the nearest whole number, the answer would be 33. If they tell us to round it to the nearest hundredths, it would be 32.98. Okay, we'll round it to the nearest whole number this time. So I use these little squiggles. X is about equal to 33. All right, so let's say we do not have a graphing calculator. So we go back to Desmos, get a new one here, and we're going to do 14, and then we go down here to times, close it back up, the tangent of 67. Oops, that's the wrong button, 67. And see how we get the same answer. We have 32.98 rounded to the nearest whole number, that's 33. Okay? So that's our answer there. All right, let's look at number 3. So for number 3, here's our angle. This would be our adjacent. This would be our hypotenuse. So if we are using adjacent and hypotenuse, that means that we're going to use which one? Which of those functions are we going to use? Look at it. Adjacent hypotenuse is cosine. So we're going to have to do the cosine of 53 degrees equals adjacent over hypotenuse. That's looks like a K. I'm just going to stick with X. All right, now on this one, I have to get this X by itself. So I'm going to have to multiply both sides by X first of all. And I get X cosine of 53 equals 45. Now, if I want to get X by itself, it's not by itself like it was here. So since this X is now in this right here, how would I undo X times cosine? Well, I would have to divide by cosine of 53. Okay, now these would cancel, and now I can figure out what X is. So for this one, I'm just going to use Desmos. I'm not going to show you on the graphing calculator, but you kind of know how that goes. So I'm going to type in 14. I'm going to have to go down here, get my keyboard, divided by, exit out of there, and I want the cosine of 53. And it gives me that answer. And this time we'll go to the nearest hundredths, 74.77. Okay? All right, last one here. We can use either angle now. You can choose whichever one you want. I think I'm going to use this angle. So if I use this angle, the one that they gave me, then this would be my opposite and this would be my hypotenuse. So if I use this opposite and hypotenuse, I'm going to have to use sine. So it's going to go the sine of my angle, which is 49, equals opposite over hypotenuse. So now to get that by itself, I'm going to have to make sure that I do my multiply by x on both sides. So I multiply this side by x, they cancel out. I multiply this side by x. So now I've got x times the sine of 49 equals 12. I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to need to divide by the sine of 49. And so now x is going to be equal to 12 divided by the sine of 49. Okay, let's go back to our Desmos. I almost think this is even faster. So I can do 12, and then I got to come here and do divided by, and I've got the sine of 49. And I'm going to round it to the nearest hundredths again. So I look at this hundredths place and I look at the number after it. If it's below 5, that number stays the same. So this would be 15.90. Okay? So just make sure that whichever sides you're given, that you mark them. So like here, I marked my sides, O and H. So if I'm using O and H, I had to use sine. Here I had A and H that I was using. A and H means cosine. Here I had O and A. O and A meant tangent. All right.